So last weekend we had Jose Aldo versus Mario Batista, and in my opinion, this was a controversial decision. I absolutely disagree with this decision. I think it's a horror. It was a horrible decision, and it just speaks to how little these judges actually know about the scoring criteria of MMA, which is damage, hurting someone, strike, strike. That's a strike as well. Just holding someone, that's not scoring you any points. Now, if you look at the stats here to this fight, it's pretty clear. Like, I know stats don't tell the whole story, obviously, because if you look at round 2 of this fight, it's like, oh, that looks like a close round, but actually Jose Aldo pieced up Mario Batista. He caused a cut on the face of Mario Batista who badly hurt him. I think he had him like slightly rocked. So, nothing too crazy, but it's still like it's pretty damn clear, that Jose Aldo, like pretty clear that Jose Aldo, he did more damage in the second round. Yeah, he even got, two more strikes, but that's not normally, how you would score a fight. It's not about the stats. It's about the overall damage, which Jose Aldo clearly did the more damage in the fight to Mario Batista. Mario Batista, if you look at their faces at the end of the fight, it's like Mario Batista had just been to the butchers or some shit. It's like Jose Aldo had just been, nice walk to the park with the family, maybe went to the beach. Like, his face was completely fine, and overall, facial damage isn't like there will be end all to the scoring of fights or anything like that. Some fights somebody might go more to the body or the legs, so it's not always about facial damage. But I mean, come on, man, just clearly second round goes to Jose Aldo, more damage. Mario Batista's shots, it says he's got 49 significant strikes. Those strikes were not significant. They were total strikes. Like, you see 90 total strikes and 65 for Jose. These were not damaging significant strikes, especially in that third round. There was nothing for Mario Batista. The second round, there was nothing either. That third round is the most clear round, I feel like. I feel like the third round was actually so unbelievably clear for Jose Aldo that it infuriated me when they announced that Mario Batista got the fight done. Because Aldo landed big shots. He reopened up the cut of Mario Batista that he caused in the first place. He opened that up. And then Mario Batista just held him against the fence and did nothing. He didn't do a damn thing. He went with it. There's clinching, there's holding, there's, wrestling and all this stuff. And then there's what Mario Batista did, which was just hold him and not try and get a takedown, not try and do any damage. He didn't even punch him or elbow him or knee him or anything while he had Aldo. He quite literally just stalled the fight. That's not effective grappling. Effective grappling is taking somebody down, improving position, and, getting some damage done with ground and pound or, maybe throwing up submissions. That is effective grappling. What Mario Batista did was ineffective stalling. That is what you call that. That was ineffective stalling. I mean, I guess you could say it was effective because he did stall against Aldo, but he didn't do anything with it. Aldo had already clearly outstruck him the fight. I think it was Mike Beltran, he might have been the ref. He breaks it up, and then Mario Batista immediately goes back to clinching. They should have stopped the fight and taken a point. That is fight stalling. That is you can lose points for that sort of shit. I've seen it before. Maybe it's not under the unified rules. Maybe it's only in like Asia where they do that. I know they do the yellow cards in one and stuff like that. And I think they used to do that for timidity in One Championship and Pride. Actually, maybe not. No, maybe not one, but I know for sure Pride. Like, if you didn't do anything, it would just, you both lose a bit of your purse or something like that. But this was just unbelievable that they gave this fight to Mario Batista. Damage, like, it's really not that hard. Like, the judges just need to see. Like, the only one who got it right was Chris Lee, if I remember correctly. Chris Lee was the only one who gave it to fucking Jose Aldo. Like, what are we in where Chris Lee is the good judge? Like, that's insane to me. It should not be an L. Jose Aldo should be on a win streak, a 2-fight win streak here, and going towards the top 5. But no, Mario Batista gets it done. And then I wanted to bring up another fight, which, now this one was lucky because we got a finish. But Jack Della Maddalena versus Gilbert Burns. The judges had Gilbert Burns winning this fight. They had him up 2 rounds going into the 3rd round. And I know, like I said, stats don't tell the whole story, but it fucking, like, man, this is just ridiculous. Jack Della and Gilbert Burns went 18-18. Okay, fair enough. Maybe give that round to Gilbert Burns. But the 2nd round, like, come on. What are we doing here? 1st round also could have went to JDM too, by the way. I'm not going to lie. But, like, the 2nd round, like, yes, Gilbert Burns got a nice elbow. But Jack was piecing him up anytime on the feet. Like, yeah, he got control, but, like, he didn't get any submission attempts. There was no submission attempts. There was nothing close to a finish. Like, zero submission attempts there, it says. I don't know if you can see that on my screen, but it's zero sub attempts. He got 5 minutes of control. Cool. Didn't do anything with it, though, did he? Then you look at the strikes. Gilbert Burns landed 27 significant strikes. And I've talked to idiots who think Gilbert Burns was winning that 3rd round before JDM knocked him down and finished him. That is not the case. He landed 0 significant strikes. You can't win a round if you don't land any strikes. Yeah, you can get all the control, but JDM was clearly landing more damage. Like, it's just ridiculous to me. Like, these judges are taking people's careers away. They're ruining people's careers. They're ruining people's livelihoods. And they don't even know how to follow their own rules. They're meant to be judges. This is meant to be their job, and they can't even do that right. We get ridiculous split decision after ridiculous split decision. And then we have clear fights where there is obviously a clear winner, and they can't even do that right. Like, for JDM, it's just so lucky he got a finish, because people keep bringing up this narrative. Oh, JDM was down 2 rounds against Gilbert Burns, against Wash Gilbert Burns. But he wasn't. If you follow the scoring criteria, Jack Della was beating Gilbert Burns' ass. There is no 2 ways about it. He got control. Yes, Gilbert Burns got control. But while that fight was on the feet, all the damage was from JDM. Gilbert Burns has nothing on the ground for JDM. He didn't go for any submission attempts, didn't land any devastating ground and pound. He literally just stalled the fight. There is a difference between lay and pray and ground and pound. There is a difference between mauling someone and laying on top of someone. It's not a whole casual thing. Oh, if you don't like it, go watch kickboxing. I'm a wrestler. I did a lot of wrestling as a kid. That was my main martial art. I love wrestling. I love watching people wrestle. Like a guy like Jacoby Smith on Dana White Contender Series. That is the type of grapplers we need. Hamza Chimaev goes in there, mauls people, slams them down. Habib goes in there, takes people down, beats them up, goes for submissions. That is grappling. That is effective grappling. This is not this boring lay and pray stuff. That not only is it boring and not effective at all for the fight, it doesn't count. These judges are just stupid. But it also turns people away from the product. Nobody wants to watch someone lay on top of someone without them doing any damage, without them doing some cool scrambles, improving position. They just lay there. It was like John Fitch. John Fitch literally got cut because that's all he would do. He would just lay on people in half guard simulator and he'd throw a few punches here and there. Like, it's not fun. The sport has moved away. It's not 2006 anymore. You don't win a fight for getting a single takedown. And this is one thing that really pisses me off about DC's commentary, because Daniel Cormier is somebody who doesn't stop with this narrative. Oh, you got a takedown. That means he's up. He's won the fight. Marina Rodriguez versus Yasmin Lucindo. That is a perfect example. He said that Lucindo was clearly up 2 rounds going into the 3rd. He said she was up clearly going into the 3rd. Marina Rodriguez had got a knockdown in the 1st fucking round. That was clearly more damage. Lucindo just lay and prayed. Like, he doesn't know the own sport. Like, he was a champion in the sport and he doesn't even know the scoring criteria. What type of sport are we in where the champions and the fighters don't even know how to score their own sport? It's always been damage. And honestly, John Anik has always been like the gold standard of commentary, but even he's been guilty of this lately, where he used to always talk about like damage is the number one scoring criteria. But he said he was like justifying Mario Batista. Like, he was down on the stats. He was clearly down on damage. If you look at Aldo's face and his face, Aldo was cutting him up and dropping him. Not dropping him, sorry, but he was hurting him. He was rocking him, clearly landing the bigger shots. Like, there's just some sort of narrative going around where people in the UFC are just, I don't know, they're losing brain cells or something. Like, every time I watch a fight, it's just like the judges are just trying to piss people off and alienate people who know how to score fights. It's like they're trying to get this rage bait content out of people like MMA Guru and, you know, and me, I guess, but I'm not as big as those guys, but, you know, but it's like they're trying to get this rage bait content out from people because they want people to keep going on about it. Like, it doesn't help the sport, but I don't know what they're trying to do, man. They're killing the sport. We need to start firing these judges. We need to start brainwashing them. We need to put them in Guantanamo Bay. Put him in Guantanamo Bay. Fucking put him in one of those chairs. What are they called? Like, where they have their hands wrapped and everything, and just have their eyes fixated on damage. This is damage. Next slide. This is not. This is just Mario Batista's face. This is damage. This is not. That is what we need these judges to do. We need to put them in Guantanamo Bay. And we need to torture them into doing the right scoring. I generally reckon I would be a better judge than all of these guys. All of these guys suck. These guys aren't good judges. I generally think. Like, in the commentary, that's another thing. We need to get this fucking narrative where the commentary need to stop doing this open scoring during the broadcast of fights that, you know, if it's clear, then yeah, do it. But when it's not clear, like as DC... I think she's up 2 rounds. You know, she got a lot of control time. She had a knockdown scored, DC. Let's look this fight up real quick. Marina Rodriguez versus Lucindo stats. Let's get this. Let's look at these stats real quick. All right. Oh, look, Marina Rodriguez had more significant. They didn't recognize the knockdown. It was a pretty clear knockdown. First round, it goes to Rodriguez. She got a knockdown and did the damage. Second round, look, she clearly does more damage there, but, you know. And then the third round was clearly Rodriguez as well. She landed more damaging shots. But all the judges see is that 4 minutes and 40 seconds of control. But that is not the scoring criteria. It infuriates me so much, man, just seeing this over and over again. Just these judges, they need to learn how to score fights. It's not that hard. You just need to say, you know, Lucinda's got a lot of control, but she's not really doing much with it. Maybe we should see, oh, look, Rodriguez dropped her. Score that fight to her. I can't remember which judge gave it. I think it might have been that Steve guy. He might have been the judge who gave it to Rodriguez, but at least we're seeing split decisions, so you know that it's not like all unanimous, and it's like at least we know some judges know what they're doing, but it's just ridiculous. But I needed to talk about this because this really infuriated me. That whole Utah card last weekend, 307, just was full of scary split decisions and just shitty decisions that it was driving me nuts. But anyway, that's all I've got to talk about. I had to rant about this. I've been annoyed about it, so I needed to get this off my chest. I've had a lot to say these last few days. I've been very vocal, and I'm probably going to be more vocal because I'm sick of just pretending that there isn't problems with the UFC. There's no problems with who Dana White picks to sign. The level of competition should come into factor when it comes to who he signs. And the scoring criteria is perfect, but nobody follows it. People say, oh, somebody needs to fix the scoring criteria. The scoring criteria is perfect. It's the judging that needs to be fixed. And we need to fix it as soon as possible because it's ruining people's careers. Thank you guys so much for watching. Make sure you like this video, share this video. And let's fix judging in MMA for good. Thank you guys so much for watching. I'll see you guys next time. Peace.